Okay, I think I'm live. Welcome everybody. You should be seeing my whole screen here. My whole screen. I've got my other computer, my other display showing the actual YouTube um, video where we're streaming. So I think we're good. I think we're good to go. Let me just turn on the audio real quick. Yeah, it sounds like it's working. It sounds like the audio is going. So if you are there, just say something in the chat. I should be able to see it. If you're there, say something in the chat. I should be able to see it. So I'm going to get started in just a little bit. But look at this. I downloaded Visual Studio Code. And just to make sure that it's running, I'm going to do Control F5 to run it. And we'll see. We should see. It's got to execute a little bit. And then, okay, there's my turtle. So there is a little bit of a lag between executing the code and then seeing the output. So that's going to slow down my time, my testing time. That's going to slow down my development time. But let me just go in and search for this image real quick. So let's see, sunset, palm trees, sunset palm trees drawing, and hopefully it's one of these. Otherwise, I'll have to go dig it out. I don't see it. So let me instead go to CTC2 Turtle Challenge. There we go. There's my document of the challenge. All right. So this is the challenge that I gave to my students. I said you must draw this to the best of your abilities in 30 minutes. Okay, so my timer's about to start. How should I set a 30-minute timer? Oh yeah, let's stop and reset. So this 30-minute timer, I would like there to be a way for it to be on top, but I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I can do that with this setup. I think I need a different kind of setup. So I might need to download, let's see, download timer, always on top, and stay on top stopwatch. Looks good. Sure, let's just download the exe. And hopefully this doesn't have any bugs. I've seen this exact application before. It's a little bit old, but I've actually used it before. So we'll see if this works. Count down to be very epic. 30 minutes. I'm going to make it small so it doesn't take up the entire screen. So this is basically what I'll be showing you. Yeah, I'm looking at what I'm seeing or what you will be seeing like that. So don't freak out by all the nested stuff. So yeah, I think actually I don't really like that because it's right there. What if I put it right here? How does that look? It's a little bit underneath me, but it should be okay. 30 minutes, so there's my timer. All right, and there's my code there. I think it's working. So here in a second, I'm going to, yeah, I'm going to start the timer. My heart's beating fast. I'm getting a little nervous here. Getting a little nervous. So yeah, once again, if you are watching me, it says one watching now. Well, I guess that's me. I'm the only one watching now. But if anybody is out there watching me, definitely communicate with me in the chat. I want to see how all this goes. All right. So we're getting close. We're getting close to the time here. So just yeah, you might pause this video and read my instructions that I had to my students. Here's some more. But another thing is, yeah, I wanted comments and abstraction. So I'm going to show you as much abstraction as possible in the form of loops, functions, and or lists. So really what I'm going to do is top-down design here. So basically I'm going to have a function that draws maybe a cluster and a cluster of trees, and inside that cluster function I'm going to have a function that draws each tree, so draw tree, and inside that draw tree function I'm going to have a function called draw leaf, and then inside that I'm going to call a function called draw spike, and I'm going to call that a few times there. Okay, so I'll be doing a little bit of planning ahead, and I'll be doing a little bit of top-down design, and I definitely want to use the docs. So I'm going to go ahead and search for Python turtle And then I've got the official documentation right there. All right, so it looks like it's 1 o'clock on the dot. So here we go. Start. Okay, 30 minutes. So that's cheating. I'm gonna start by import turtle, and then I'm gonna just do turtle dot home, and then I'm gonna do turtle dot done because that's what I have to do in a script. By the way, I'm not using. I hit Control S to save, and then let's see. I think it's Control F5 to run. So I'm just testing this to make sure that the turtle is actually being drawn, and it is. Okay, so we're in business. Why is that being highlighted? It's just showing me the module. Okay, that's weird that it's highlighting that. By the way, I'm not using Replit because Replit servers are down a little bit. Okay, so I went to set screen size. There we go. Screen size. And I know that I need this screen object, so that's a little bit interesting. I need that screen object, so I'm not really sure how to get that screen object. I think I need to call a constructor screen, and let's go all the way up to the top. There's so many instances of the word screen. There we go. The function screen creates a subclass of turtle.screen. Okay, so I'm going to create something. You could do this with turtle. You could say, I could call Bob my turtle if I wanted to. That way I would have to turtle. That way I would have to reference turtle a whole lot less, and I would just have to write Bob instead. So that's if you're doing multiple turtles. I created a turtle object. So any of those watching from CSA know that this is a constructor. This is a constructor of the class turtle with a capital T. And then I could do screen is turtle dot capital S screen. There it goes. It pops up. And so that screen, I want to do screen dot set size. Set. That's not the right function. So screen. Oh, it's screen size. Screen dot screen size, and then I can put in parameters for canvas width and canvas height. Okay. So I'm going to do that. Screen dot screen size, that's right. And then the width and the height, I'm not exactly sure what I want. I kind of want it to be the same width and height as this image, but I don't know what the parameters on this image are. So I'm going to save this as target. That's my target image, and this is just going to go on my desktop. Forgive me. Forgive my desktop for being a little bit messy. That's what we got. Okay, now I'm going to open this up in yeah, in Windows Explorer. I haven't prepared this part, so I'm not sure if this will tell me the resolution. Resolution, size. It says so-and-so kilobytes. Details maybe. There it is, 120 or 1280 by 720. Perfect. So if I wanted to replicate this, I would do 1280 by 720. Is that right? 1280 by 720. Okay, and that should be the correct screen size. So if I save this and run it, did I not start the timer? Oh, dang. I didn't start the timer. Okay, let's go back. Sorry about that. Here, I'll just take 5 minutes off. Yeah, it's 103, but because of my penalty, because of my mistake, I'll penalize myself a couple extra minutes. There we go. That's better. Okay, so that should be working. Where is my turtle? Come back to me, turtle. Come back to me. Let me run. Control F5. Oh no, it started and it stopped. Okay, maybe I need to do screen dot done. Let's see if that works. Uh-oh, has no attribute done. Well, dang. So maybe I should go back to turtle, because that's what I know. Turtle.done. And just to get rid of this, I'm not constructing a new turtle object. I'm just going to use the regular turtle class, because that is possible. It's possible to do. Turtle.done. Okay, it didn't really give me the proper screen size that I wanted, but that's okay. So I'm just going to skip that part. I'm not doing so hot now, man. I'm not doing so hot. That's okay. Oh, I see a lot of people. Hi, it's another variable for turtle. Yeah, that's right. I created a turtle. I created a turtle object, but I decided to get rid of it. So yeah, I'm gonna start by creating a box. So let's see. This is where my stuff is actually going. So this is just setup. I can leave a comment there. Setup, and then this is drawing. I wasted a lot of time setting up, and I didn't really set it up correctly. Okay, so let's look at my image. It's my target image. So if I'm right in the middle, and I need to go 1280 over, isn't that right? 1280 by 720. So I need to figure out what 1280 divided by 2 is. So I'm going to say top, is going to be, no, that's going to be the left. Left is 1280 divided by 2, and that's going to be a negative. So that's my left edge. That's my left edge. And then my top is going to be 720 divided by 2, and that's going to be positive. So that's my top corner, my top edge. Those are dimensions. Those are coordinates. And so then I could say turtle dot go to left comma top. Okay, but I probably want turtle dot pin up first. So I want pin up, and then just to check to make sure I'm here, I'm going to say turtle dot dot. Let's just do a 50, size 50 dot. Let's run it, control F5, and oh no, my turtle is off my screen. That's not a good sign. It's going to be too big. But if I spread it out like that, that'll be hard for testing, but I think it's going to be okay. So dot, man, that's annoying that it has that thing highlighted. Turtle has no pinup member, which is weird because it does. my syntax highlighter is not helping me out here. Okay, so turtle.pinup, turtle.go to left in the top corner. So from there, I know that I'm pointed to the right, so I want to turtle dot forward by, and let's make another parameter called width. Width is 1280. Ooh, I have an idea. Instead of making that parameter there, I'm going to put it here. Uh-oh, that's weird. My control X is not working. Okay, that's a constraint that I'm going to have to work with. So 1280, and then right here, I'm going to say width, and then I'm going to say height, and then I'm going to say height here. Okay, so these parameters are defined by those parameters up there, and this needs to be 720. Okay, so I'm going to go forward by the width. And then, yeah, I also need to make sure that I'm going pinned down here. Ta-da! I should be going forward by the width. So let's see how that works. See how it looks. Come on, turtle. Invalid syntax. Height, 720. Ugh, I didn't put equals. Ba-boom. All right, run. Ta-dum. All right, and then it's going to draw that line. That's pretty much what I wanted. All right, so now I'm actually at a place where I want to wrap this up in a loop, or in a function rather. So I'm going to say draw, I'm going to call this draw background because functions need to be titled based on verbs. So this is a verb called draw background. I need to make sure I'm calling it down here. Draw background, yay. Okay, so I'm calling it, pin up, go to left top, pin down. I also want to do turtle dot, I want this to be, I'll just set the color to purple for now. And I definitely want to change this color pretty soon. So I also want my pin size, turtle.pin size, to be kind of big because I'm going to work on drawing this gradient. All right, so then that will go forward. But this, I know that I want this to be inside a loop. I don't know how big exactly I want this to be, but I'm just going to set it to 100 for now. Well, I do want it to go 720, so maybe I can go just 720 divided by 4, because that's my pin size. So I can just do the height divided by 4, that pin size. That's how many times I want, that's how many strokes I want it to go. So then it goes there, and then it goes, I'm going to pick my pin up, and then I'm going to go back by the width, and then I'm going to turn, let's see if I'm looking that way, I'm going to turn right by 90. And then I'm going to go forward by 4. I guess I could have turned that into a variable up here. Let's say thickness is 4, and then instead of that, I'm going to say thickness. So by adding variables here, I'm making my testing a lot easier and my drawing a lot easier, my production a lot easier. Because if I wanted to change the thickness instead of changing 4 everywhere, I can just change it right there, and it should be general enough to work. So back by that much, yeah, forward by the pin thickness, and then I'm going to turn left by 90. So then it's ready for another stroke. It's ready for another stroke. So then I'm going to do turtle.pin down. All right, and so this, if I run this, it's going to draw this background. It's going to do all, what happened? Float object cannot be interpreted as an integer. Okay, so I guess this needs to be a Yeah, that probably needs to be an integer division. So let's run it again. I'm really upset that I'm getting so many little errors right there. All right, so there's my one stroke. It's going to go backwards. Oh man, it's going really, really slow. I forgot to do turtle.speed, and I don't really know what the speed needs to be. Sometimes 10 goes really fast, sometimes 0 goes really fast, so let's just try 0. There it goes. All right, so it's drawing my purple background there, and that is the size that I want. It's going to be the exact pixel size that I want. Okay, so instead of purple, I actually want to go in and do a color picker. So I'm just going to say color picker from image. There we go. Image color picker. And my target is the right one. So how can I upload? Upload my image. Let's go to my desktop and find target. Okay. And so I want to pick that pixel right there. Okay, we're rocking and rolling. So that, I can move that over to the side real quick. Oh, stupid free website. It doesn't have a good layout. There we go. Okay, so I can create some more variables, I think. I'm just going to put another marker here, variables for colors. All right, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say, I'm going to do a list. Let's do that. So start, my start values are 1, 54, 0, and 255. And that refers to red, then green, then blue. So that's RGB. That's where I want to start. Where do I want to end? Well, how about that color? My end color is going to be 229, 115, and 64. And again, that's going to be red, blue, green, so I don't feel the need to comment that again. Okay, so what I really want to do is go from 154 to 229 on the red. So before I do the color, or before I do my stroke, I want to do turtle.color, and then I want to say, so start at 0, that's my start red, minus end at 0. So that's the, let me think. I want to end up at end, actually. So how about, let me use Desmos to kind of walk through my math process here. Fast, go, hurry, 60 minutes left. You're right. Let's use Desmos here. Desmos graphing calculator. So if I want to start at 154 and end up at 229, I need to look at a table. 154, 229, and that's going to be at my 0th mark. And then, how many of these items am I going to do? Maybe I want another variable called strokes. This is the number of strokes. I'll actually call it num strokes. Num strokes, and that's going to be my height divided by my thickness. Num strokes. Okay, that's my number of strokes. And so what is my number of strokes? My height divided by my thickness. Height is 720, thickness is 4. What is, oh, I can just do it right here. 720 divided by 4, that's 180. Okay, I don't know why it wouldn't take that. So anyway, 0 here, 180 here. I want to start at 154 and go to 229. And then I want to see what the equation is going to be. Y1 m times x1 plus b. And I don't want that there. I want it here. All right. So yeah, let's think about point slope formula. Really, what I want is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That's the slope. So y2 minus y1. So that is going to be, and that's my y. You know what? I don't want it all in that mess right there. I want to say, no, never mind. I do want it in that mess. So y2 is end. Should have known that. Y2 minus y1, which is going to be y2 minus y1 is going to be start at 0. Y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And the x is the num strokes. So over num strokes. plus B. Well, what is my B? Well, B is the start value of red. Okay, that's going to be red, and maybe I want some more parentheses just to make it clear that it's red. All right, and then I think I also have to do that if I'm going to another line, otherwise it won't really work. So then I'm going to copy all of this for the next one. Control Control V is not working. Oh well, that made me. I think what it's doing is Vim. It's using Vim commands. So I need to figure out that. That's what I get for starting something new. Plus start. Actually, I want to do 1 on this one. 1, 1, and then for the last one, I want to do end at 2. That's right. Minus start at 2 divided by num strokes. So basically, I'm creating a linear equation here for each one of these. Start at 2. And I think those match up. Actually, I got one too many. And then I might need that. So let's see if that compiles. Oh, bad color sequence. So that needs to be an int, of course. Although, no, it doesn't. These need to be scaled by 255. That's what it is. 255, 255. I forgot. My color mode is from 0 to 1. I always forget that. Let's try that. Oh, yeah. Look at that. There it goes. And is it changing? Oh, it's not changing. I'm silly. Because I need to multiply this by I. I need to multiply that by I. Multiply that by I. And multiply that by I. So there's my X. And let me comment this out and run this. Ooh, I spent most of my time working on this background. Is it changing now? I think it is. Okay, my background looks good now. Does it look just like this? I think so. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay, so that's the hard part there. And it actually goes a little too far. I didn't account for this bottom part. So I might need to pull that up. I don't know exactly how much that is that I need to pull it up by. So the number of strokes is going to need to change. I don't want to go exactly to the height, but I want like maybe 70% of that. And then that should be an int. Yeah, 70% of that. And I should put a 0 there. Okay, let's try that. See if it works. Okay, I think it's going to work. So there's my background. Got it. And now I want another function that's going to draw the sun. Def draw sun. This is going to be an easy one. Oh yeah, it looks good. Draw sun is, I think that's going to be right smack in the middle of this photo. Pretty much smack in the middle. Again, I want to do my color picker. Let's pick that color. And this time I'm going to use the color string since I don't need to change it very much. So pen, turtle dot pen up. I'm going to worry about pen up and go to and all that in the color inside the beginning of each function. That's how I'm going to do this. Turtle, come on, turtle dot color, that color, turtle dot go to 0 0, turtle dot. It's going to go to the center and then turtle dot dot. How big is my dot? I don't know. 720 is all the way up, so half of that, I'm going to say height divided by 2 minus, let's see, half of the height, and I think that's going to be like 80% of the height. So now what I want to do is just to test the sun, I'm going to comment out this call to draw a background because I don't want it to draw the background just yet because that will take up a lot of my testing time, right? So there's my sun. It doesn't look big enough at all. Height, what should my height be? My height was 720. I think this goes by diameter instead of radius. Let's try that. That's much better. Okay, so the dot, The sun is drawn right there. Of course, it's going to be on top of the background. All right, now we need another function called draw land. And what that's going to do is turtle.pinup. Again, I'm going to do pinup at the very top of each function. Turtle dot 13 minutes left. Yeah, I should have defined turtle as t to go faster. That's okay. Turtle dot color black. Basically everything from here on is going to be black, I think. Yeah. Okay, turtle dot color black. Turtle dot go to. I'm going to go to the, let's see, the width divided by 2, but negative. So that's going to be the left. Actually, I think I defined left already. Yeah. So go to the very left on the x. Left on the x. And then let's see, if I only went down 70%, that's tricky. Maybe I could do some math, but I'm really running out of time here. So the left, and then for the y, I think I'm just going to try negative 100. Let's try that first. Okay, and then I think I still am going to be pointed in the right direction here. So I'm just going to go ahead and do pin down. Whoops. Man, I'm running out of time. I need some more time for the leaves and stuff. Pin down, and then go forward by the width. All right. So let's run, oh, I gotta call it draw land. And I should still have the same pin thickness. Is that about where I want the land to be? Maybe, no, I'm gonna call it good. Maybe a little bit lower, actually. Maybe a little bit lower, maybe 130. Let's run that. Sure, that looks better. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, and actually my pin, yeah, right, my pin thickness was 4, but only because I set it in draw background, and I'm not in draw background right now. So pin size thickness, and I do have that defined here. Okay, so now in order to make it all squiggly, I could make it all squiggly, but I think I'm just going to, yeah, let's do it. I need to import random then. I import a turtle, import random. All right, gonna make it a little squiggly. For I in range, let's do width divided by, let's just say 10. And that should be a floor division, just in case. All right, so I'm gonna randomly move just 10 times. Turtle dot left by random dot rand int. Let's see, I don't want it to move very much at all, so I'm going to go from 0 to like 10 degrees. And then turtle dot forward, and that's going to be width divided by 10, because I'm going to do this 10 times. And then turtle dot right, random dot rand int 0, 10. Yeah, let's try that. And that should go all the way across. My random stuff didn't work though. Did it give me an error? Oh, this is red over here. I don't know what that's for. Turns out left. Maybe it kind of did do random stuff, but I can't really see it. Well, dang. Oh, that's because I already went forward. I already went forward, by the way. So let me comment that out. Comment that out. Okay, that was fine. You know what? I'm going to say that that's pretty good. So if I start over there, I'm going to do turtle dot begin fill right there. And then by the time I get to the end, I'm just going to say turtle dot set heading this time. Set heading from 0, I think it would be -90. Turtle dot go to. This would be the not the left, but the opposite of left. So I could go ahead and define those here. Right. This would be width divided by 2, and bottom would be height divided by 2, but that's negative. It needs to be negative. All right, so go to the right and the bottom, and then go to, okay, so if I'm doing set heading, I don't need, or if I'm doing go to, I don't need set heading. Go to the left in the bottom, and then go back to where you started, left negative 130, and then end fill. All right, let's run that, see what happens. Oh no! Oh man, I'm really not doing great here. Random. Why is it random there? Maybe I need to start by saying turtle.setHeading setHeading 0. How will I get the dunes? Oh man, this is terrible. Why is it doing that? Maybe instead of doing that, I should do like set it again, turtle.setHeading to 0 inside here. Let's try that. Okay, that's a bit better, but it's still not doing my fill. End fill. I did begin fill and end fill there. Alright, I'm not doing so good. Okay, let's just say that one's good so far. Now I need to do turtle dot, well, now I need to define another function. Draw leaf. Okay, draw a leaf. Actually, yeah, that's fine. Let me call draw leaf right here just to test it. And inside draw leaf for now, I'm just going to ignore my land. My land didn't end up being too good. I'm going to say turtle dot go to 0, 0. Oh, that could be turtle dot home, right? Oh well. So turtle dot color is black. I don't know if I need to do all these, but I'm just doing it just in case. Turtle dot pin size 1. Yeah, my timer's about to run out. Sad, Mr. Hulsey. Not doing so good. Turtle dot. Let's see. For the leaf, I kind of want to do a circle. Let's see. Radius, let's just try 50. And then extent, I don't want a full extent. I just want something like, let's try 50 degrees. And we'll just see how that looks. So that's going to be part of my leaf. Oh, I didn't do pin down. Turtle dot pin down. And let's run that. Come on, Mr. Hulsey, 8 seconds. All right, so now I'm just gonna, there's my time. So after this finishes running, you will see what I had. It will not be very pretty. I think I forgot to do pin up before I before I started drawing the leaf. So there might be a nasty, yep, that's ugly. Where's my leaf? Oh, maybe it's still going around. There it goes. Hey, okay. All right, so that's not the worst program I've ever done, but it's certainly not the best. I'm a disappointment to myself and my family. There we go. There we go, people. That's what you got. That's what we got to live with. Yeah, the go-to drew a line. Yep, I did mean to do pin up right here, pin up right there. Well, I made a cool gradient, and then everything else was bizarre. So yeah, I ended up going way off the screen there. I don't know. What do you think? Should I keep working on it? This is what I got in 30 minutes. So not so good. Thank you, Gus. Thanks, I did too. What do y'all think in the chat? Should I keep working on this to finish it? You know what I could do is I could just set the timer. I could do a stopwatch and keep timing it up and see how much longer it would take me to make it really good. I could do that. And then if it ends up being an hour, then you can say, hey, two Mr. Hulseys in 30 minutes. Two Mr. Hulseys in 30 minutes could have done it. 11 out of 10 for the random line. Yeah, like I said, I should have tested it, and then I noticed it before I actually drew it that I should have done pin up right there. And then I don't know why it went so far off the screen. Let's look at this. Range, width. I went forward way too much. So heading 0. Yeah, that should have been between -10 and 10. That's what it should have done. So it should have gone up and down a little bit. Set heading 0. And then I went forward. Did I go forward the right amount? Width divided by 10. I don't know why I went off so far. So if y'all wanted me to keep working, I can. I kind of want to. I kind of want to see what I can do given more time. You don't want to say anything in the chat so far? That was fun though. It was very fun. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and keep going. So stopwatch up. All right, we'll see how much longer it takes me to get something halfway decent. So I know, like I said, that I need to do turtle. Oh wait, let me take a screenshot of this first. Oh my gosh, it's not closing these. So I have just a million of these open. I did not know that. Keep going. Okay, I'll keep going. Oh, hey, Mr. Mickle. Cool. So yeah, before I keep going, let me run this again. And then I'm going to take a screenshot of my big oof. My big oof here. Okay, so yeah, I wanted to go -10 to 10. That's better. Turtle dot pin up before, not after every run, but, what was I doing here? Oh, right, not there, but right before my leaf, before I did go to, yeah, turtle dot pin up, yeah, right there. Okay, so that should be better. Let's see if I got my catastrophe. All right, there's my catastrophe. Let me take a screenshot of that for posterity. Move that out of the way. Snip. Save this. This is the best I could do in 30 minutes at this level, chiming in 10 years, 10 more years of coding. Come on, snipping tool. I blame my tools. Snipping tool. Could I save? I don't think I can save it straight out of here. Oh, well, you know what? You can snip it from the video, since my snipping tool is not cooperating. So, yeah. Bye-bye, Abomination. Okay, so that's pin up. So let me comment out my background. And yeah, I do want to test the land one more time. And then I'm going to comment out the leaf. I'm going to come back to the leaf. So let's run that. Okay, land looks much, much, much better. I think it might still be going off the screen, way off the screen, but it is looking a lot better. Maybe it's too much, the 9 and the 10, it's not enough strokes. So I'm going to change that to like 50. Change this to 50. 10, yeah, 10, that's too many degrees. I'm going to change that to 5. 5. Let's run that. Now I know that I'm getting a whole bunch. Oh my good lord. What in the world is that? It only went halfway. It only went halfway before it went go to. 50 strokes. Location mode without the line. Yeah, that's a good idea. So my range, I should be going more, I guess. I shouldn't be going width. Yeah, this is totally wrong. 50, and then that's width divided by 50. I knew that I was doing something wrong there. Yeah, if I go 50 strokes, each one going a 50th of the way. Okay, much better. That's where my issue was. All right, so the ground looks good. The land looks great. So I'm going to comment that out. Now I'm going to work on my leaf. And yeah, pin up, go to, and then set up the pen and pin down. Okay, so now I'm going to test my leaf, and I do like having the sun right there as sort of a backdrop. Plus, it looks pretty. All right, so that's a little bit of a leaf. Let me do a set heading. So that is all setting this up. let me do a set heading of, let's see, maybe like a 90 for now. I actually want my extents to go a little further. Let's try 70. This time I'm kind of playing around because I don't know exactly what kind of function will work well. Uh-oh, set head. I spelled it wrong. Set head. Ding. Oh. Okay, that's more like a leaf, but the set heading needs to be a bit more. Let's try like 150. Because I'm trying to draw a leaf that's sort of upside down. Yeah, sort of like that. Maybe I want it to be a bit bigger though. Man, it takes me a while to run it and test it. Okay, that's kind of the size I want. I want it to go a little bit more though. And then I might turn my set heading a little bit up. Okay, that's kind of what I want. Let me turn this to 120. So this is my arc. This is the arc that I want. Yeah, much better. Actually, I might want to go a little bit more on my extents, because that's going to be a very narrow leaf. So let's try that. Okay, that's more like what I want. So now I want it to zigzag back and forth. I want to draw the spikes. So now I'm going to do a nested function. So this function, yeah, the time is supposed to be over. I failed. but yeah, I'm counting up to see how much longer it would take to make something good. So now I'm going to do draw spike, just one, because I want to call this multiple times. So turtle dot, let's assume that I'm pointing in the right direction when I do draw spike. Close out all of these. Let's assume that I'm going in the right direction, so I'll have to turn it a little bit before I draw the spike. So let's assume that I'm going in the right direction. Let me see what my source material looks like. Let's see what my spikes are needing to look like. Go to here and zoom in. So it is supposed to spike down a little bit from here, kind of at the same arc that my arc did. Or maybe, yeah, that's what I want to do. So that's the arc where I'm at right now. I'm going to go downwards and then turn around by a lot, almost 180, and then go upwards. So I'm going to stay where I'm at. I'm not going to change my heading. But of course, I don't want to use absolute coordinates because it's going to really mess things up when I start to turn each leaf. So I'm going to go ahead and do forward by some leaf size. I'm going to say spike size here. That way I can make it more modular. I can change that later if I want to. Plus, I'm going to do that again here with leaf, but I'll do that a little later. So go forward by spike size, whatever that is. And then I'm going to turn around by almost the whole way. So if I'm pointing down, I'm going to turn to the left by almost 180 degrees. Let's try 170. And then I'm going to go forward again by the spike size. I might be able to put that in a loop, I'm not sure. Go forward again, and then I'm going to turn around by, again, almost the spike size, but this time I'm going to go to the right. 170. Okay, so this I think I want to put in a loop, but since this is already a function that just draws one spike, I think I'm going to put the loop inside the draw leaf function. So let's do this. For I in range, I'm not sure how many I want. Let's just try like 8 or something. And then I'm going to call draw spike with some number inside it, like 10. Let's just try it. Try it. Okay, so not what I wanted. Not what I wanted. So 170 is too much. Let's just try like 160. 160. And then there's 8 of them. Yeah, actually before I draw my spikes, I want to turn a little bit to the left. Let's say just by 20 degrees. So this is a lot of guess and check here. Okay, it's getting better. But yeah, I don't like how it's starting off. So I want to turn left a bit more. And maybe I want my spikes to be a bit longer. And maybe I want them to be a little more spread out. Okay. Oh yeah, much better. It still doesn't quite look the way I want it. It's, you know what? I'm getting more like an up and down, like triangles, and I want more of a sawtooth. So I want. How would I do that? I think my angles need to be different. I'm gonna ignore it for now. Let's see. Yeah. That's an okay shape. Actually, the top of the leaf needs to be a bit longer. So what if I do that in my code? What if I go to 0, 0, and then just go forward, like set heading. Again, don't really want to set heading, but that's okay for now. Set heading to like a 100, and then go forward by a bit. Forward, let's say by like a 60. That's gonna change all my spikes are inside the leaf, not outside. What happened? Oh, it's because I set the heading over there, and then I did pin down. That's why. Okay, my bad, my bad. So let me cut that. Of course, cut is not working. So set heading there, pin down. Yeah, right here is where I want to do my forward. Let's just try like 60 or something. Boom. Let's try it. The spikes are inside the leaf, not outside. I don't think that matters too much. Okay, so now that I've got a straight line, I want my arc to be a lot smaller. So I think, yeah, the arc needs to be way shallower. It needs to be way shallower there towards the end. So I need this radius to be way bigger. And then I need my extents to be way smaller. So it's going to be much less of the arc, but the arc is going to be shallower. And that's kind of the arc that I want. But let me dial this down. Maybe dial this up. Kind of, but I think I want more extents. Okay, yeah, that's starting to look more like the leaf that I'm seeing here. It's starting to look more like the leaf, although it's not quite. Let me change this set heading. I want it to be almost 180, so let's do 160 so that I can look at it as if the leaf is pointed down right now. Yeah, that's a bit better. If I did that and that. Yeah, the leaf is a bit better. But yeah, now I need my spikes to be larger. So I think now that I've got more of an arc going around, it's sort of almost going around to the bottom. Maybe I could do one more arc. Maybe I could do one more arc after that, like a little bit more shallow. Um, so a larger radius and then a lot less of that radius. Let's see how that looks. Okay, I think I'm digging that. Not quite that much, but really what I was looking at doing there was finishing off the spike there. So now for my spikes, I actually want to turn around and start drawing the spikes inside. I want to start drawing the spikes inside. So before I start drawing the spikes, I'm going to do turtle dot, yeah, not left 40, but instead left by a whole lot. So it's pointed that way. So I almost want to turn around. So let's do 160 and then draw my spikes. Whoa! Okay, now I got to go backwards here. I just sort of threw in a backwardsness to that function. Let's see if it works. Yeah, okay. All right. Woo. So now I definitely want the spike size to be a bit bigger. Let's try 40 there. Man, making this modularized will be a little hard because I got a bunch of random numbers. Okay, so I don't know why, but it's still not doing that sawtooth thing. So I might want to think about that. Just 90 to the right. Yeah, I might want to turn left. Not quite that much, but let's try like 155. 55, and then how do I make it go sawtooth? I think less distance here and then more distance here. Yeah, so the amount that I change it on the right turn needs to equal the amount that I change it on the left turn. So if I draw the spike, I'm going up first. I draw the spike. I want it, I think, to turn more on the right turn. Not 180, but maybe let's try 160, and then this would be less here. I think that's going to make that sawtooth pattern. Nope, didn't work. Totally did not work. 160, it's turning 160. Maybe this has to be 160 as well. Maybe that's sort of why. No, it's still not doing the sawtooth. Man, I can't figure that out. Spikes are at an angle. Yeah, it needs to be at an angle. Yeah, then it needs to go back up that way. So if it cuts up this way, and then it kind of needs to point down. So if it's pointed this way, and then it needs to be pointed down, and then it needs to be pointed that way again. So yeah, I thought the distance would need to turn out to be 180. So let me just kind of slow down and think about it. If I turn right by a certain amount, then I need to turn left by, let's see, I'm trying the same amount, but it's not working. So let me kind of draw this out. Let me get a pen. So if I turn, yeah, I'm going up this way. I need to be going down, then up this way, and going down. So these angles, I would be turning that way, and then that way. These need to be, it'll be a complementary angle. They need to add up to, let's see, right, and then left. I think those are like transverse angles. They need to be the same. So maybe my angle is just not enough. Yeah, I'm really not doing good on geometry here. Let's just try 140. 140, 140. That just makes the teeth bigger. It doesn't make them like a sawtooth thing. Man, I'm really wanting to get that. Really wanting to get that sawtooth. So it goes up that way. I could use set heading, but that will not allow it to work. So yeah, I want it to go down like that and up like that. Oh, the problem is that stroke needs to be bigger. One stroke needs to be bigger than the other. So maybe I could do plus like 10 here. Let's go back to my 160, 160. Now I'm getting a sawtooth thing. But I think this first stroke needs to be bigger. But again, my spike size, oh yeah, I'm doing it. Okay, but my spike size right here is 40, so I'm actually going to do spike size plus 40%, so I'm going to do times 1.25, because my spike size will be different for each leaf. All right, that's looking good. Good. So then what if I said go back to that 0, 0 right there? And then I did a begin fill infill. Yeah, I don't like how it added this extra little spike there. Plus, it's not quite as long as these. So maybe I could just do more of these. More spikes. Yuck. Too many. Let's do one more, or one less. Still yuck. I kind of think it goes down one too many times. So if I'm 155 there, I go forward and then right and forward and left. Yeah, it's gonna be tricky. Maybe I could do my infill like right before my last spike or something. And I could also do more forwards here. So it'll be longer. That's a bit better. And oh, also, you know what? In the middle of this leaf here, it's going to be obstructed by the other leaves. So I don't really care what that looks like there. So let me make it even longer. 100 there, and then 10 spikes. See how that looks. Does that look like that? I think that looks pretty dang good, if I do say so myself. All right, so my leaf is good, but I need it to be very generalized. So I'm going to put some parameters in here. X and Y is where it's going to go. X and Y. I also want a heading, so I can set the heading to that originally. I also want, what else do I want? A size. Okay, and that's going to, this is going to be tough. So the numbers I have here is the forward. So I'll just set this 100 to size. Then this needs to be size times 1.2. And this needs to be size times 90%. This needs to be size times 60%. This needs to be size times 20%. Why did I do that? Okay. This needs to be size times 1.55%. That's kind of weird to put size as the parameter of left. So actually, no, that's not what I want. I do want just my degrees to stay the same. I want my degrees to stay the same. Size dot 0.4. And then range, I want that to stay the same, 10. Yeah, so size, so 40% of the size of the leaf will go into the spike size. Okay, so now when I'm calling draw leaf, I want this to be 0, 0, so I'm testing it. And then I want the heading to be, yikes, I forgot. What's the heading? I guess it doesn't matter. I can put the heading in whatever I want. I think it was like 155. And then the size was 100 for this test case. So let's run that, see if I get the same exact leaf. And then I know that I have modularized my thing. Size is not defined. Oh, yeah, I meant to say 100 here. Cool. Yeah, and my heading was a little bit different. But basically now I've got some leaves. I don't know why my copy paste is not working. So that would make me a lot faster, but whatever. 0, 0, and let's change my set heading. Actually, I'll kind of do this in for loop. If I just did this all the way around, would it work? No, I need to do bunches of 3. So that might be like 30 degrees. So I'm going to do 3 of those. And then I'm going to do 155 plus 30 times I. So that's going to get me 30 more degrees turned around in my set heading. And there's one leaf, there's another leaf, there's another leaf. Cool. So I drew 3 leaves, but they need to be more spread out. So not 30, but like 50. That's a bit better. But of course, the starting spot is not correct. So instead of starting at 155, I'm going to try starting it like going straight up, sort of like that one. And of course, I'm going to wrap this into another function. I think it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. I'm looking at this one for reference, by the way. Yeah, man, that 50 degree mark actually looks pretty good. Okay, I like it. I like the number of spikes and all. And then the last thing I might need is, yeah, the size. I don't want those to be necessarily 100. Let's see if it scales properly. Let's see if it scales down to 50. I think that it would. Oh no! It didn't work. Why didn't it work? Because my angle, maybe my angle needs to change. So let me comment this out, because I just want to look at one leaf. Because I definitely want it to scale to size. Yeah, because there are definitely more things there. What's it saying? I is not defined, of course. So let me just try it at 90. Alright, so what's my issue here? My issue is that my arc is not scaling properly. Yeah, my 2 arcs that I've got end up being bad. Darn, because if I change all those numbers, that's going to mess up my original, my OG. Let me close all these out. It's going to take a while. Oh. Okay, yeah. Dang. Leaf scaling is not working properly because my arc is not working properly. So what if I just kept the same arc? I don't know. That wouldn't quite work. You know what? I think I need to keep the same extents. That's what it is. My extents needed to stay the same. So good thing that I had 100 to begin with, because this was clearly 60, and this was clearly 20. Let's try that. So if my extents... Okay, great. Great. That fixed the issue. Good. So now I'm scaling properly. Okay. Okay, so now I've got to draw a spike and draw a leaf. Now I want to start going bigger and draw a whole tree. Draw def, draw tree. The second parameter is angles. Yeah, that's the heading that I'm starting at. Heading and then size. Okay, so draw tree. So what do I want to do in draw tree? I want to draw several leaves in my tree. Of course, it's not going to work. I don't know why copy paste isn't working in this editor. So I want 3 leaves. Draw leaf. Again, I'm going to start at 0, 0. I'm going to modularize this. And then starting at 90, I want to add 50. Got to remember that 50 is a number that I want to keep regardless of how modularized I want this to be in the end. Alright, and then I'm going to draw another 3 leaves. Draw a leaf. 0, 0, right, so right in the middle there. So instead of 90, I think maybe I want to do 180. 180 plus 50 times I. And then this will be size, I forgot. Actually, let's go back to my 100 size leaf. Okay. Valid syntax. Oh, what? Oh, yeah, just colon. Colon, of course. And then I want to do draw tree. Okay. Let's see it. No, 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 no. Bad, 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 bad. So I thought that going 180 degrees... Oh, well, of course, I need to go 180 degrees from 90, so that's 270. So really, if I'm going to modularize this, I want that to be 180 degrees from the original, and then I can change 90 to the original heading. There, 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 and then there and there. But, oh no, I just realized they need to be backwards. Yeah, the leaves are going to have to be pointing backwards. Yucky, 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 yucky. Yeah, so I need my leaf function to be able to handle a backwards routine. Yeah, all right. So here we go. Back into my leaf function. Draw leaf. Go to there. Yeah, Aditya, make another argument. Right or left. So I'm going to make that a boolean. I guess pointing down. Point down. No, because they're always going to be point down. So how about left? Left is a boolean. It's either true or false. If it's false, these are going to be the leaves on the right. So maybe I can say if left, let's see, Aditya's saying angles are either negative or positive. That's probably right. Sounds right. So heading to heading. Would heading be negative? No, heading would be the same. So heading is there. Let's see what I got. Let's see where I need to be. So I go forward, and then my circle is going that way. So it goes forward, and then my circle is going to go that way. Make it an integer and multiply by the angles. Like a -1, +1 integer. That might work. Yeah, left. I can do a doc string here. Just writing this for me. Left is -1 if left. Actually, +1 if left. -1 if right. That's kind of a weird name there. Kind of a weird convention. maybe I should call it sine. So if I go, is a circle a negative size circle? Is that going to be going in the other direction, or would that be the extents, negative extents? I think that's how it goes. And if you put a negative size in for the circle, you know what? I can pull up my docs. Turtle.circle. Here we go. Draw an arc in the other direction if radius is positive. Okay, so I think that would work. So that would be, yeah, I'm going to change that. I'm going to change it to sine. Sine is positive 1 if left, negative 1 if right. Okay, then I'm going to change this to sine. I'm going to change this to sine. Yeah, and then draw spike. I think I need to change size just the angles. Yeah. Yeah, right, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing a positive 1 and a negative 1. But I need to change the circle angles as well. And in this, I need to change that by sine. And then not the sizes of the spikes, but the directions I'm going. Sine and sine, and this is in another function, so I need this to be, I need to pass in sine as well. So draw spike, and pass in sine there. And then down here, I'm taking one more parameter, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, into draw a leaf. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is going to be a positive leaf. This is going to be a negative leaf. Try it. Okay, positive leaf looks good so far. Hey, negative leaf looks great. Good job, Ditya. But now my angle is not quite right. I want to do 90 plus a little bit more than 180. 200. No, not 2,000. 200. Okay, let's try that. So there's my leaf, there's my leaf, there's my leaf, there's my leaf, there's my leaf. Oh my gosh, it is looking beautiful, but not quite right though. It still looks kind of like a bird or a weird thing. So let me look at what I need to be at. I need that angle to be more. I need to keep hiking up that angle. Let's try 230. Wait a sec, that made it worse. So maybe my 50, maybe the 50 is not quite right. I need to scale down the 50. Let's do that 40. I thought it looked good earlier, but now that I've got a bunch of them, it's not quite looking the right way. So let me change that back to 200. So now my leaves are closer together. And those are further apart. That's pretty good. And they're also a little big. The leaves are also a little big for this scale. But that's okay. I think that's pretty good. This angle right here is looking a lot like this angle right here. That angle doesn't look quite so good, but that's pretty good, I'd say. All right, so my leaves are good. So that's in my tree. Then I want to go back to my starting place. And now this is going to be the hard part, is drawing the tree. So if my angle here is 90, my set heading is 90, I want to go to set heading a little bit, let's see, a little bit less than that. Maybe that's 45. Sounds about right. 45, maybe actually a little bit more than 45, because if I wanted to go right in between these two, this is not quite 0. So maybe 45 plus 10 or so. Set heading 45 plus 10. So I am trying to get this in reference to this 90. So 90 divided by 2. Although that division might not scale right. So I think instead I just need to do a subtraction for when I change my heading later. So if I was trying to go to 45 plus 10, 35, what is 90 minus 35? I'm so bad at math. 55? That'd be 35. Yep. Okay, so set heading there, and now I'm just going to kind of draw a forward line, see if I'm in the right heading. So there's my leaf, there's my leaf. Man, it's taking a while to draw these leaves. I wish it was faster. know my testing is going to be pretty bad. Hey, that looks pretty good. 90 minus, so if that's 90, I'm subtracting it, so I need to subtract it a little bit less. Let's do this 45 after all. There it goes, and okay, that is better. Still not quite exactly what I want. Let's try subtracting it by 90 minus, would it go up? 50? Doesn't sound right. I think that would make it go to the other side, but I think it kind of worked. No, that does make it go to the other side. Oh, 40. Okay, so I think this is a pretty good spot there. What I'm going to do here is, yeah, like that. So if I go straight down, that's going to be my tree. And it's kind of weird because all of these trees are not exactly going in the same direction. So they're kind of arcing in different ways. So that's going to be pretty tough. It's going to be pretty tough. If I did a go-to, it would be a straight arc. I wish there was some function that would arc around until it hit the very middle, starting from one center point. It's going to be pretty tough. Okay, so how about I do turtle dot, oh, it's already 2 o'clock. I need to probably wrap this up pretty soon, but it's fun. Pin up, and then forward by that much. And then I'm going to actually, you know what, I really want to turn this all the way around. 180, so instead I can do plus 140, and then go backwards, because I want it to be facing that way. So then I'm going to do turtle dot forward by a whole lot, 500, and we'll just see how that goes. So this is going to be the trunk of my tree. Right now it's an ugly straight line. Oh, I forgot to do pin down. The wonders of forgetting something. Then you have to go back and change it. That looks pretty good. I think I shot right in the middle of that tree. However, I am going to have to do an arc, and I don't really know how I'm going to do that. So instead of this draw forward, I guess I'm going to modularize this into another function. So def draw trunk. So I'm assuming that I'm going to start right here. That's where my draw trunk is going to go. Right now it has no parameters. I'm going to put those in later. All right, so if I'm starting there, I'm just going to make sure that my pin size is 1 at first. And then I'm going to draw, does it need to be straight? No, it continues on that arc. But if I don't continue on the arc, yeah, hello, Ayush, hello. If I don't continue on that arc, it's not going to go straight through the middle of my tree. So I think right here, I'm just going to go through the middle of my tree. I ended up going backwards by 100. So if I do forward by 50, and then change the pin size by just a little bit. How is that going to look? Pin size. I. Man, it's going to take a long time to draw these leaves every time while I'm testing. That's... Oh, of course I didn't call draw trunk. Dang. It's a waste of time. I think it's going to look too choppy. It's just going to be one line and then a thicker line. I can't even see the additional thickness. So let's do like 5 of those and do 100 divided by 5. I really need to take out my leaves because I like the way my leaves look. I don't know, kind of better, but it is getting that choppiness look of an antenna instead of, you know, a nice smooth thing there. But that might be what I have to work with. Let's try one more thing. Let's do 10 of these. See how choppy that looks. The more smaller increments I make, the more of a gradient it's going to have. That's a little too thick. Weird that it grows only on one side, it looks like. The pen is growing only on one side. Alright, so let's go back to 5 of those. 5 of those, and then... Actually, yeah, let me go back to 10, but let me go more than 100. Let's go like 200, so that will still be the same size increments as the 5 one, but it'll go further than the original. Yeah, so, you know what? It kind of looks like the gradient slowly, like it slowly gets bigger. It doesn't have the same gradient throughout. It's more like a, you know, logarithmic change in thickness there. So how would I do that? A for loop inside a for loop? Or just a different function here. Instead of I want to do like the logarithm of I, and then do a int, so rounding. So after that, maybe I'll do turtle dot pen size. Does the pen size function return the pen size if I call it with no parameters? Pen size with none. Yeah, it does. Okay, so I'm going to take the pen size, the current pen size, and then add something to it each time. Maybe just I each time. Okay, so now, so that goes inside the thing, kind of. Goes a little bit further. But then I'm going to fry in range 10. I'm going to do like some more. This is the rest of the trunk. Pen size going up, and then I can do a very, very, very wide circle. 200 wide. Extent. Man, this is going to be tough. Just 10 degrees each time. There's a loop of 10. So now here I really do want to take out my leaf because I'm going to be doing a lot of testing here on the trunk. Whoa, that looks really good! I was not expecting that to look so good. But it's very curvy. It's very curvy and very segmented. So it doesn't actually build it on one side. It doesn't build it on one side of the pen. I thought it would. Alright, so that is really starting to look like a palm tree. I'm pretty impressed. So if I were to take out the draw tree function and just call the draw trunk function to test that, how would I need to set it up? It ends up being set heading this way. Oh, of course, that's not working. So if I did turtle dot go to 0, 0, after it draws the sign, I think that is already in 0, 0. And then turtle dot set heading. This is painful. 90 plus 140. Then turtle dot pen up. Then turtle dot backward by 100. Turtle dot pen down. And now I'm ready to test the draw trunk, I believe. Yeah, because that's where I call it in there. And then, yeah, I commented out draw tree, so let's just see what that looks like. Oh, yeah, I forgot to set it black. Pen color, black. Okay, so that's kind of my tree. I think it's looking real good. But, of course, the arc is too much. But that's what I wanted to test out. So 200, and then that extent is too much there. So maybe 5. But that's going to draw it a lot shorter. So maybe this needs to be a lot bigger. Yeah, because this arc, 200 radius arc, is way too much of an arc. I need it to be a very, very, very gradual arc. And then this ends up growing pretty quickly. So maybe I could do like that. Half the growth. Looking much better. Look much better. And of course this is curving in one direction, so I might need to do the size function thing again, the size parameter. It's hard to tell how far down that goes though. I think I'm afraid I'm just going to have to draw different trunks. I guess I could modularize it with lots of parameters, but at that point it's kind of not really that worth it. Actually, I'm going to do a dummy function, set up tree. And then I'm going to put all this stuff in there. I have to type it again. I really need to figure out how to get copy paste to work. Turtle.pin color, black, turtle.set heading, 90 plus 140, turtle.pin up. Karate Kid Bonsai. Thanks, Mr. Mickle. Thanks for watching me. Alright, so instead of doing all that madness, I'm going to do setup tree. That's for testing purposes. Let's see if all that works, so I can use that testing module again. Okay, so that is working for pretty much for that tree. Let's see, what kind of parameters would I need up here? I think I am going to start with 1 each time. Yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Forward 200 divided by 10. Super chats. I don't know what super chats is. Otherwise I would enable it. Sorry. Alright. So in my draw tree, yeah, I'm going to draw the tree. I'm kind of drawing a tree at 0, 0. Oh, I haven't modularized the tree function yet. So yeah, I think we should do that. So let's modularize this, x and y, and then I'm going to draw the leaves at x and y. 90 is my starting heading, so that's going to be heading, and I'm going to make that heading. I'm going to make this heading. Alright. What is that? I forgot what that parameter was. Size. Yeah, the tree's size. I'm just going to have the tree size equal to my arbitrary leaf size. Oh yeah, donations on streamers. Yeah, let's do that. Get some donations here. And then +1, -1 are going to stay. Set heading needs to be heading. I'm glad I set that up to be in respect to 90. Oh look, backward is going to be equal to size, and that should scale. Alright, and then draw trunk. I'm not exactly sure how that's going to scale. So maybe I need that to be a size. And this is, I'm going to send in size. I could do size times 2 here, and then have this be size. My circle, no. I'm going to keep the size at 100. So that's coming in as size, and so this needs to scale up by 2. And then this needs to scale up by 5. So let's see if this still works after making it more generic. Draw trunk. Oh, I called it there. Oh, it's because I'm not calling it there. So my size was going to be 100. Okay, so I'm still hitting the same thing. Let's see now. Oh, I forgot to do X and Y here. I'm glad I caught that. 40. Is that 40 times I gonna mess me up? I think that's the way I want it, because that's gonna be my angle. I want my angles to be the same, no matter what. Alright, so now I want to draw a tree. And I don't want to set up tree or draw trunk here. But I want to draw a tree using, what do I have? I should have wrote down what I had. 0, 0. I think I was doing 90 for the heading. And then size, of course, I was doing 100. So let's draw a tree with those parameters, see if that works. Then I'll be ready to modularize it. There's my tree. And there's my trunk. Yeah. Okay. So I've got one tree going on. Of course, I've got to make it a lot smaller, and I've got to move it quite a bit. So the X and Y of my tree is the center of my bunch there. So let's move that over. How big is my sun again? Draw sun. Height, 80% of the height. And I don't know what that is off the top of my head. 500, 600-ish. So I always forget if that's radius or diameter, but I'll just try something. I'll try 600 to the right, and then if that's the center, maybe I'll do 500 up. 600, positive 600 on my X, and then 500, positive 500 on my Y. Let's see what that looks like. And if it's not quite where I want it, that's okay. I can always stop. What the heck? What the heck? What the heck? What the heck? Oh no, something terribly wrong is happening. Something about my draw tree. Oh, it's because I have go to right there. Okay, good, good, good. Easy fix, easy fix, easy fix. Try that. Oh no, it's still doing that. I still have a go to 0, 0 somewhere. Right there, there it is, there it is, there it is. Draw a leaf. Okay, it wasn't showing up because I was sending in X and Y as 0 and 0. Okay, try that. I think it's working. Yeah, it's just way out there. Okay, so I was wrong. That is the radius. Basically, I need half that. Half that. So down to 300 and 250. Let's try that. That's not really what I wanted. Too far. Too high up. So where's Y? Too high up and not far enough to the right. I'm trying to draw this one right here. That's kind of good. But my, yeah, I forgot my heading needs to change. So instead of 90, I want it to be more than 90. I want it to be like 120. Oops. That's looking kind of good. A little bit more on the heading and a little bit more to the right, a little bit further down. A little bit more on the heading, a little bit more to the right, and a little bit further down. It's looking a little better, but now I'm kind of worried about this arc. That's a very, very sharp arc. Yeah, my angle is good. I need to come even more. Oh, I know why it looks weird. It's because my size is really, really big. So hopefully this will scale. 80. And then, yeah, my arcs. I need to fix up that function there, because the arcs aren't doing too good. I think it's scaled. Yeah. Doing pretty good. But yeah, it's curving too much. And it still needs to come down quite a bit. it still needs to get quite a bit smaller. I'll try 60. And then down, that's my Y, right? 50. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking ahead. How am I going to make my trees all have the proper arc and stuff? Because that tree is a little dwarfed. So I'm going to have to really modularize that draw trunk function. I think that's in a pretty good spot right there, to where those leaves are just barely touching the sun. Not perfect. I might drag it over and down a little bit more. But yeah, my draw trunk function is just going to be so difficult. So maybe, since I want each trunk to be different, I guess I could do different parameters here and, send in the same parameters into tree. Or in my main, I could draw the tree, like the leaves, and then draw the trunk. So it's kind of a weird naming, draw tree and then trunk. Draw tree and then draw trunk. So I think I'd kind of rather put some more parameters in the draw tree function. So let's see what I need to do here. I think the problem is how much I am curving. I want it to curve a lot less, and I don't want it to build up in size that quickly. So I would want, in draw trunk, I would want my pin size, I want this to be bigger, my range to be like that. Size, I want this to be even bigger, times 8, and it's only 5%. I think it's going to end up curving me way too much, so let's try 2%, or 2 out of 362 degrees. Okay, so now again I'm hitting this spot where it's a big boy. I want this to grow a lot slower. 4. I'm hitting the spot where I need to be testing just the trunk, not really the leaves. So I think I might have to modularize my setup tree function. That's better. That's a lot less drastic. So compared to this one, it curves a lot less drastically. But I need it to go down further. So maybe more extent. But then it's going to need to grow. It's going to need to curve more slowly. My testing is really slow. Excuse me, really slowed down. So while that's running, I'm going to try to modularize my setup tree. X and Y are going to go here. X and Y are going to go there. And then heading is going to go here. Heading, and I think that's right. Oh, size is going to be here. Okay, so instead of draw tree, I want this to be setup tree, because I think I've got the same parameters there. And then just draw trunk with, I think 60 was my size, because I put in size there. Same size as there. Okay, so now it'll be easier to test. Okay, so I still don't like those numbers. It is kind of going down the way that I want to, and actually, I need to remember that the bottom of this trunk is going to be like in the ground. So that might be pretty much what I want right there. But the hard part is going to be figuring out where exactly all of these arcs are going to land. I think I'm just going to have to draw trees all individually. Okay, so that's pretty much where I want that one. And while that one is just being drawn without the leaves, I can look at this other one. So it's going to be, let's see, what are my parameters here? 350 on the X, 150 on the height. Fortunately, my sun is right in the middle, so that's a pretty good reference. So 350 over that way. So if that's 350 from here to here, this is probably going to be about 400. And instead of setup tree, I'm going to do draw tree because I want to see what the leaves look like. It's going to be 400. And this is going to be, what on the height? If that goes up to, what was it, for 150, that's probably going to go up to like 50. Quite a bit smaller. And what is that heading? What does my heading need to be? A little bit less. Get out of my way. That's 130. So 130 is where it starts, so it's got to pull up a little bit. So let's try 100. And then the size is going to be quite a bit smaller. 30, is it half the size? Not that much. Let's try 40. Yeah, and draw trunk is inside that function, so I need to move draw trunk down here. Draw trunk 60. Draw trunk 60 needs to go here. Draw trunk 60. Okay. So now let's run that. I should be seeing my trunk that I like, and this tree that I might like. Trunk that I like, tree that I might like. Okay, my tree that I might like is actually a tree that I don't like too much. And yeah, that's going to be arcing the other way. That's a tree that I do like. A tree that I might like needs to go more to the right, quite a bit more to the right. Is it in the right Y position? Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell where that is going to go, but maybe that Y position needs to go down some. All right. So what if I put my draw land back in here and see how that works? Oh my gosh. VS Code settings are all wacky. Draw land. So yeah, I know that my little tree over here is not the exact trunk that I want. And that didn't go all the way over. I actually want draw land to be lower. I want my land to be quite a bit lower. Maybe I should fix that right now. Yeah, that was negative 130. And I need to make sure that's the same. So, negative 130, I need it to be more. Let's try negative 180. So, yeah, going back to this problem, this is a pretty persistent problem, having my trunk in different places, going different directions. Sort of like the leaves here, I could have it go negative. Man, that looks perfect, actually. Wow. Those actually met up really, really close to each other, the trunks. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to change it because I want it to arc the other direction. Do I have to change it? Why don't I just draw what I've got? Why don't I just draw what I've got right now? Yeah, I'm going to draw what I've got, and then I'll fix that later if I want to. I'm kind of getting tired. I need to do some other work. So yeah, I'm just going to make that assumption that it's not going to curve in the exact right direction because that's going to be a hard fix. It's going to be a difficult fix. Maybe I'll do that next weekend if you want me to. Uh-oh, why did that move? Oh, it's because I have another draw trunk function. So I need to get rid of that. And yeah, man, it's looking pretty good. Although that little tree, little tree's still not exactly where I want. I'm going to keep it for now because they end up meeting up really close to each other. So then the last tree I want to make in this bunch, draw a tree, is going to be, so this is 350, 150. So I want this to, like, that's going to be really similar, really close to the center, very close to the center. Where's the center? Right there. That might even be a negative y. So I only want that to be, that's 350, so maybe this would be just like 50 on the x, because it is a little bit to the right. 50 on the x, let's try a negative 10 on the y, and for the heading, it's going to be way that way. So what is my heading before? 130. I need it to be a lot more than 130. Let's try 180. And the size, it's about the same size as the other one. which was 60. Alright, let's see what that looks like. Now my testing is going to be quite slow, because I got to draw these 3 trees. Yeah, I can clean up my code while I'm waiting for that to run. Draw background, I do want to keep that in. That's not so bad. Oh man, it is really hitting the edge. Very close to where I wanted it. Good guessing skills, Mr. Hulsey. Good guessing skills. So how do I make it hit exactly where I want it? I can bring it, and actually it's a bit too big. But does that mean this other one is a bit too big? I think so, but that would throw off everything. I'm going to kind of keep the sizes. So I want it to go to the right a little bit, up a little bit, and change my angle a little bit. So to the right a little bit. Let's do 10 each time. Maybe I'll just make this straight 0. Up a little bit, and change the angle by a little bit. But which direction? I'm going to cut back on the angle. Just a little bit. Alrighty. Man, this is starting to really look like the image. Again, the trunks are not perfect, but I think they look pretty cool. Not exactly realistic to what I have, or to what I'm looking for. And then, come on, show me the money. It's going to be too much. Very far off. I need the angle to be more. I went the wrong direction in my angle. You know what? I'm going to comment out this second tree and just use the first tree as a reference. That'll speed up my testing a little bit. So I need the angle to be even more. Let's try like 180. I hope that wasn't back where I had it. While that's running, I can close out a bunch of these. Uh-oh, I closed out the one that I was testing, actually. That's my mistake. I'll run it again. Boom. Okay, I'm getting pretty close to this side, at least. And then the other side shouldn't be too bad. Is the other side the exact copy? An exact copy of this side? I think it is. That might work. Not exactly. That's not an exact copy. Is that what I want? I think it's what I had before. Darn, that's really close. So, I'm sad. I'm sad, but I think my trunk is going to have to change for this third one. So I will have to add a new parameter. So the trunk... okay. Draw trunk, range 15, pin size, circle size. So that's kind of relative to the size of the tree. Now I'm going to do like a length. That's kind of a weird word there, length offset. So I'm going to send in a length offset. My length offset by default is going to be 0. Length offset. I don't want a default value because I'm going to send in different values. Length offsets. Length offset. And now, where do I want it here? Length offset is long. I'm just going to say offset. Offset. So, is that what I had? Circle times 9. So, I want more circle. Yeah, so it should be plus 0 by default. And then plus offset. No, minus. It's gonna need to get very, very small. Offset divided by. Man, that's just. I don't have very much to work with. Is that gonna be a decimal value? Can my it does not to be an integer? It just says a number. Okay. So offset divided by. I don't know what numbers I need for the offset. So I'm just gonna say divided by 2 there. So my first one is going to be an offset of 0. And then this one, I guess I'm going to need an offset of, shoot, I don't know. Because I'm doing size times 9 plus offset. Maybe I can do offset some size because the size is 60. So let me just do a 1 offset. It's kind of a weird number here. I'm not confident. This is just for the trunk. What? Nani? That is beautiful. That is actually really cool. Okay, I think I'm gonna call it on that one. Surprisingly, it was really, really good. But it is still a big thing. It's like past the center. So I do actually want to cut this down some. So cut this down some as well. And I think that's going to shift everything. Go faster, turtle. It is going to shift a lot of things, but if I just pull that over... Ah, man! This thing looks horrible. Maybe I could make this a 0 again. No. My heading is too shallow. But what about the tree itself? The tree does look good. But I forgot to pull this over to the right some more. Pull it over to the right some more. And I think the Y does pretty much look good. But yeah, that trunk just needs to come a lot further and a lot straighter. Let's try that. Anybody still watching? 3 people? Dang, trunk is so horrible now. I think overall I might need like more of a trunk. Now I'm getting so confused with this offset mess. Oh yeah, that's a lot better. I made all my trunks a lot longer. Yeah, and then that is almost cutting that where I went. What if I just make the trunk even longer? 12. Do I have an offset there? Yeah, I do have one little offset. I think this will be good because the trunk is just longer, even longer still. Yeah. Come on, hit me, hit me, hit me, hit me. Okay, pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. I still have that ugly trunk like coming out of the ground down here. So that's almost the way I went. How can I fix that? I could pull the land up a little bit, but I think it's in a good spot where I have it. Man, that trunk really does look quite good. I gotta work with this offset because this one definitely has to be straighter. This one definitely has to be straighter. So how can I do that offset? So for each little offset thing, I want... What if I just keep scaling this up? Keep cranking that up. Yeah, again, I'm scared how that's going to end up looking. Basically, I just want it to be a lot straighter. I want this one to have a much straighter trunk. That didn't work. Well, I guess it was straighter, but it didn't go far enough. Offset, the extents needed to be longer. Try it like that. Oh yeah, because that's going to be worse. It's going to be more subtraction. So the extents is going to be 0. This isn't going to work at all. The extents, if my offset is bigger, it actually needs to be more extents, I think. Yeah, see, that didn't extend. It just did a dot. Minus offset times, no, because it needs to be opposite. I guess I could always do plus. the offset. But I don't want it to be that drastic. Let's do plus offset times divided by 2. So that's the opposite logic I have. I wonder how much that's going to mess things up. Again, my offset for that one is 0. That's pretty good. I'd say that's perfect. I'd say that's perfect. Yeah. Yes. 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 Okay, so what if I did a negative offset for this one here? Negative offset. Maybe that will make my tree curve backwards the way that I want it to. So the problem that I said that I would try to solve later, I think I'm going to be able to solve it. Now that tree needs to be more to the right. So that didn't quite make it run the other way. But man, those are hitting right where I want them to. Almost. Dang it. I thought that was perfect. Oh, it's because my random land didn't cut exactly where I wanted it to. Well, how come this negative offset didn't do what I wanted it to? I know that the abs, I know that I should do abs right there because the extent needs to be scaled properly the right way. So plus offset times size. Oh, okay, so that would be a negative. So that's not going to work. I'm going to need another parameter for sine. Man, this is getting to be a lot of parameters. And it's going to be positive 1 or negative 1. So all of this needs to be times sine. Put it that way. Uh-oh. Is that Hudson waking up? Maybe. And this shouldn't be abs. But yeah. So that's kind of what I did with my other thing there. So that should be like a 0 offset, but a negative 1 sine. This should be a positive 1 sine. This should be a positive 1 sine. I might need to name these arguments to make it easier for me to remember what's going on. Hello. Somebody said hello to me. Okay, so that works. That curves the other way. But yeah, that's not how I want them to meet. So maybe this offset should be more. This offset should be 3 as well. And look, these met up exactly where I wanted them to this time. So if that offset is more, then that will curve this way more. And it's going to be skinnier. I could bring it down and to the right a little bit too. The second one to the right by that much and down by that much too. This was the one that I just drew. Should I change the angle on that one? Looks pretty good. Come on, meet up right there, right there. Not perfect. Not perfect. If I made this offset even more, it's going to draw, I think it's going to draw way out here because I saw this trunk go way into the ground. I think the ground will cover it up still, so that's good. That's going to be an okay solution. That's pretty good there. That's not terrible. I could, of course, bring it over a little bit more. Oh, yeah, it is terrible because it drew a little bit past the ground, but that's okay. How am I making the curves? It is, I'm using the turtle.circle function. So check the docs on turtle.circle. Here it is. Turtle.circle, it's a certain radius and a certain extent. Yeah, I can post the code. I can post the code to this after I'm done. Alright, so I think, no, I can't keep track of which one's the most recent one. So I'm just going to close a bunch of these. I think my baby is waking up, so I might have to go pretty soon. Oh man, that draws off to the side too. So I'm gonna have to go pretty soon, but I think I'm just gonna go ahead and draw the other trees. Maybe that one I can turn it. Yeah, I might just draw the trees and maybe polish it up some more later. How could I make that one a little bit better? I think I can turn it a bit more. That's what I should do. So this one in the middle, the heading, is 100. I should make it, what, more or less? I should make the heading more, a bit more. So let's try 110. And that should make those two trunks meet up. Exactly where I want them to. But since I made it go up, it's going to really draw past my space there. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! They're perfect! They are perfect. Except my land isn't going exactly where I want it to. But that is perfect. That cluster is just brilliant. Just brilliant. Awesome. So I might write a function, or I might embed into the draw trunk function, like if the current position is beyond the size of my frame, then break out. I might do that, but man, those trees look great in that cluster. Okay, I'm gonna definitely leave that the way I have it. So let's go over here to this other cluster. Okay, so this is gonna be tough. I'm gonna have to make up a whole bunch of numbers here. So if this is 80, that's 80 and 0. Maybe I want that to be negative. Can I do that? Yeah. Negative, not 80, but more than that. So negative 100, and not 0, but just a bit higher than that. All right, and then my heading is going to be, let's see, what is that middle one? The middle one is the first one I'm drawing, 130. So I think I want the heading to be 130 again. This is going to be, no, wait. Yeah, no, okay, I want to draw this one. So this is going to be, if that heading is 130, I need to pull it this way. So the heading needs to get smaller, I think. It needs to get smaller. Let's make this like, yeah, because that middle one is the small one, 110. So let's make this like 80. And then size, it's going to be the same size as these others, which is 50. The offset, this one is kind of going to be an offset similar to that, which is what, 3. And this one is going to, let's see, the sign is going to arc this way, so it needs to be -1 sign. I need to label these because I'm getting them mixed up. I'm going to start at 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is number 4. This is number 5. And this is number 3. I should definitely rearrange them. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Oh man, I don't have freaking cut. I guess just the keyboard shortcuts don't work. Paste. Okay, so there's 3, 4, 5. So compared to 4, it has the same size and all that. Okay. I guess I'll just go ahead and draw all of them. And yeah, so this one's going to be really, really similar to number 4, but different dimensions. So let's see. 350 is the x. I think that might be pretty much the exact same, but in the negative direction. Negative 350. Maybe a little more than that. Negative 380. And then the height is pretty much the exact same as number 4, 150. The heading, exactly the same. The size, exactly the same. and the offset exactly the same, which is 0, and the sign is going to be the opposite, -1. It's going to curve that way. Okay, and then the last one. I should probably test these. See what they look like. I can comment out these other 3 because I really like the way they look. Way too much in the sun. But I can turn the angle down. Wow, I'm so good at guessing where they're going to meet up. Yeah, so I want this one to come to the left. And I forgot which one's which. -100 is this one, so I need it to come to the left, so more that way. I would like it to come up, more that way. And then I would like the angle to change. So I want it to go back the way it came, I think. So yeah, 80, that's smaller, smaller, smaller. So I need it to go back to like 100. Let's see what that looks like. No, I don't want to run that whole thing. I just want 3. I want 3 there as a reference. But let me comment these out and leave these. Alright, so this is going to run. Getting close to the end here. So this is an hour, almost 2 hours. Oh no, I'm using my whole Saturday again. But hopefully it's benefiting you guys to see how I like to write code. Oh, that's very far off. Those need to be meeting up. Those definitely need to be meeting up. So that one, that's curving way too much. This number 2 is curving way too much. So this is number 2. This is number 3. It's curving way too much, so I should... I could also bring this tree up a bit more as well. And then cut the angle back some more too. So that's what I'm going to do for number 3. I'm going to bring it up some more and then keep cutting the angle back. So I think this is kind of what I had a second ago. Plus I would like to move this down. If you're just joining me and you're seeing me right click, copy and paste, sorry, my Control V, Control C aren't working. I think it's because I have Vim settings on this thing. So let's run this. Compare it to this. Oh, I didn't change this. I need this to curve a lot less. Number 2, I need it to curve a lot less, so I'm going to change that. Although that is kind of the same. It really should look like the other tree. Okay, so that's a bit better. How does that compare to that? So I made it a lot flatter. I made it a lot flatter than this one. And so it is going to move the base of the trunk down closer to this other tree trunk. But man, it just is so flat. So I guess I need to meet in the middle. Yeah, I pulled it up too much. Number 3. So let's change that to 90. And this one, I don't want that to be like a 3 offset. Let's try a 1. So let me close out some of these old ones. Alright, I'm going to start to put in my last one too. Draw tree. And hey, That looks pretty good. Getting closer. Getting closer to what I want. Yeah, that one's pretty good. Not perfect, but pretty good. I think the problem is that this tree is arcing too much. That tree ends up arcing too much, but I think this other one arcs just the right amount. And these look to be mirror images to me, but I could always change it. Let's try 5 there. Alright, so my last one, my last one is going to be more than 380, 420, I don't know. The Y is about a little bit lower than that one, so I don't know, 20. The heading is going to be kind of like number 2. Oh, plus I want this to be above. Cut, paste. The heading is going to be like number 2, but a little bit more. So 150. Size is going to be like that small one over there, 40. It needs to be very, very shallow of an arc. So this is an offset of 5. And then the sign, it needs to go that way. So 1. This is going to be tree number 1. Let's run this. I'm getting close to the end of what I want to do. So if it's not perfect in a couple of minutes, I'm going to call it. I'm going to call my wife in here and see if she likes it. Because that is the true test. That's the true test. If the wife likes it, then you've done a pretty good job, right? Or does she just like whatever I do? Maybe. Okay, so I definitely need to drag that more to the left. A lot more to the left for number 1. Man, 420 seems like a lot. 520. And how's my Y look on that? Pretty good for the Y. Yeah, I think that's pretty good overall. And then I want to move 1, 2, and 3 up above. Oh, I'm dumb. I used 0 index at first, and now 1 index. Okay, so that's more clear. Oh yeah, that's about where I want them to meet. Let's see if they meet up there as well. Not quite. Should I pull it more to the left? No. No. The tree is right where I want it. These two things are about to touch. I can bring it down. I can bring it down some more. This one. 210. I can bring it down even more because those leaves are about to touch. Like in the Sistine Chapel. Okay, so I could move the heading a bit more this way. So the heading, I think, is here. If I want to bring it this way, I would want to cut back like that. That doesn't look that different. Did I change the wrong variable? Oh, crap, yeah, I changed it here. There we go. So, on this one, I want to cut it back this way. So I need to reduce this one. Oh, that's a lot. Let's try that. Alright, I'm almost done. I gotta get to work on important things. This is important. This is fun. I don't really like that angle. It's like pretty much straight up. Oh yeah, it's the same as that one. Crap. I don't want that. I want it a little bit more. Maybe that much more. Definitely don't want it to be the same as that one. That'll be a noticeable error. Mm-hmm. Pretty good positions. I think they're meeting up in a pretty good place. Let's see if this one meets up. And if it does, I'm going to say I'm done. Wow, that's perfect. Boom, ski. Boom, ski. Boom, ski. No! My ground! Dang it. Dang it. Okay, well, I'm going to cut the ground and put that above. This will help my testing. And then I'm going to comment these out. Dang it, I really liked where they were meeting, but then the ground got messed up. I feel like the ground is not really meeting where I want it to because of the random aspect to it. Sometimes it's a little bit lower, sometimes it's a little bit bigger. And also it's not really curvy and bumpy like this original one was. There's quite a bit of bump to it. Mine's just a little bit. Yeah, the cluster is not... Man, that's like the same exact point on that one. If I made all my trees smaller, would that kind of solve my issue? Because in this one over here, it's beautiful. I think I want to make this one arc not as much. Should I bring it down? I could bring it down a little bit, but that would make it weird with that one. But then that one, number 1 or number 0, could make the heading a bit higher. Okay, so if I bring this one down by that much, make the heading more by that much, let's see how that's gonna look. Hey, looks nice. And this one? No. Doesn't look nice. But those two look nice. What could I do to that one? I could bring it more to the left, because it does need to be closer to the sun. It's too close to the tree right there. So this one, I could just bring it more to the left. That's my X. So there. Let's try that. I think I'm almost done. Just a couple more tests. My trees ended up being too big, but I think that's kind of an artifact of the way I'm looking at it. My screen size compared to the image size that I wanted. I want this to go a bit further too. I might mess with my land function one a little bit more. Okay, that's pretty good. But again, it should meet up right at the tip. I could change the angle of number 3. Heading angle. Could cut back on it. Alright, let's see what that looks like. Man, one little tweak, and then you have to run the whole thing. I could tweak something else while I'm waiting. I want the land to go further. Width times 1.5. And then bottom plus 100. Bottom plus 100. Then I can just crop out what I don't want. Oh no, that's way too much. Okay, where did it go? Where did it go? Where did it go? Where did it go? So that is number 3, or excuse me, number 2. And the heading was 90 what I had? Jeez, I've been forgetting so bad. Huh? Oh, I need to go further down then in my land. Minus 100. Yeah. Almost done. perfect. Come on. Come on. Still not perfect. I think that's because that's what I had before. There's that 90. So let me bring that to 85. Right in the middle. And now it's going to be perfect. I swear it's going to be perfect. Okay. I'm hungry. My son's waking up. I haven't gone to the bathroom this whole time. Perfect. And cross your fingers. Okay, well, I gotta go right in the middle then. 87. Okay, this is the last one, unless it's not perfect. Man, this is taking forever. Right there, and hello. Would you like to see it? It is perfect. Pretty perfect. I'm sorry? Yeah. My wife is not happy with me. Um, well, it was 30 minutes, and then my fans begged me to go on. Huh? Over 2 hours. Okay, well, I'm done now. Thank you. You want to come see the final product? Come here. Still not quite perfect. 86. It needs to be this way, so it needs to be more. I thought I had 87. 86 and a half. Okay, so it needs to be more this way. Is 87 going to be perfect? It needs to be more this way, so it was too shallow. Yeah, that's pretty good. I think it's, yeah, because earlier that one met up perfectly, but yeah, it's because of my land. Okay, I'm going to call it good. Boom. Draw sun, draw land, draw 3 trees, draw 3 more trees, and then done. Yeah, if I wanted to make it even more perfect, I would mess with the land a bit more, and I would clip out the bottom. So I'd say if it goes too far down, then stop it. But here is my final product 2 hours later. And now I really gotta go grade y'all stuff. Oh man, the land. There's such a gap. Dang it. Okay, my background needs, yeah, because I did move the land down, I think. My background needs to come, draw background. Needs to go more. Num strokes. Take this to 70%. I need it to be 80% instead. Yeah, it has been over 2 hours. I started at 1 o'clock. I love it. I love it. And that made a little odd thing down there, but once I crop it out, once I take a screenshot of it, it's going to look better. And here is the OG for reference. I think I did a pretty good job after 2 hours. Did I waste my Saturday? No. Yeah. But did I have fun? Yes. Did you learn something? I hope. Oh yeah, perfect. Okay, and if this meets up right there, it's going to be perfect. It's going to be perfect. It is perfect. And let me just take a snip of this. Snip, and then I'm going to go eat, and then I'm going to have fun with my family. And then after that, I'm going to grade a lot of papers. So yeah, I went this much over. Pause on that, minimize that. And this is the final product, starting up like here-ish. No, not right. Starting at here-ish. I'm gonna clip off these little bits, and then right there-ish. All right, that's the final product. Let's minimize that. Let's compare that to, can I save this as, we'll see, final. Target, this was my product. So I want to compare my product to my target. Can I do that easily? Product. If I open this up, will it open it up in like photos? All right, thank you. I think I'm very proud of myself, even though it ended up going way beyond what I wanted it to go beyond. Come on, Photos. Windows Photos, Microsoft Photos. Cool. Welcome, everybody. I will post the link to my code. I will post my code. I'll probably put it on Replit or something, or I can just save the file. Yeah, I'll put the file. I'll put the Turtle Challenge file up on Gmail, and then I'll give that to you. So there's that photo. Man, can I not pull up, can I not cycle through my photos in this folder? Here's my target. Where's my other photo? I can't tell the difference. Look at that. Look at that. Here's my target, and here's my product. I could crop it a little bit. I could crop my product a little bit. But yeah, it ended up being pretty good. Pretty good. Courtney. Courtney Hudson, come look. Courtney Hudson, come look. Hudson. Hudson, come here. Hudson, come here, bud. Look. Is that pretty? Is it very pretty? Say super pretty. Do you want to see it? Dad, that is Dada. Look. Say Dada did that. Say Dada did that. You have messy hands. Yucky. Are you hungry? I'm hungry. All right, guys. All right, guys. It took 2 hours. It took 2 hours. A little less curves on the ground. Oh, this is the target, and this is what I wanted. So I needed more. I needed more curves on the ground. I needed more curves on the ground. Yeah, I think you were thinking. I think you were thinking that this one is mine, but this is the target, and this is what I wanted. Oh, don't mess it up. All right, well, I'll post some stuff in the description in just a little bit. I won't do it now because I got to go and eat and do some stuff. Thank you guys for participating and getting in the chat. This was very fun. It took more time than I wanted. But that's okay. I think it was fun. Hopefully, y'all saw my process and you kind of saw how I like to code. There's a lot that I would do differently if I had more time here. But I am proud of myself for making a lot of variables up front, made a lot of variables. And then I did a lot of changes throughout my loops. I think my loops ended up being good, and then I think my modular design ended up being pretty good. Although I would have liked to put these into a cluster function. And then I also had a lot of parameters here, and that ended up being, oh, don't mess it up. That ended up being kind of messy, but overall, I'm pretty proud of it. I didn't have a lot of comments because I was going real fast. And so now when I look back at this code in a couple of days, I'm going to be like, what the heck was I doing? But a lot of this was just guess and check. So that's kind of what happens when you go real fast. So yeah, there are a lot of things I would do differently, but overall, I think these ended up looking pretty similar. So thanks, guys. Thanks for joining me.
let me know. Let me know in the description or in the comments in the chat. Let me know what you want me to do next. I would love to do another one. Maybe not next Saturday. I need to really get caught up on grading, but here maybe in a couple weeks, a few weeks, I'll do this again. So yeah, let me know what you want me to do again. All right. Bye. Signing off. Hold up. Hold up. Out. You want this sticky note? What are you doing with my sticky note?